Okay. So try not to talk as much as possible, Ash. Just to... All right, guys. So you saw Lucky's start. We're in the building. We've got our good friend Angus helping us out. He's over to our right, just inside the building, and Courtney's here with Lucky. I'm Jamie behind next to the camera, kind of just explaining what we're doing. So what you saw when the video started was Angus had just come in the room. So Lucky can't see him, but he can hear him and smell him. So some jinglings that started him off. You could see Courtney was nice and calm and patient, and when he was in between barks would get his attention. And then we'd reinforce attention on us with our lick stick, which is mostly peanut butter, I believe. Yep. And so now we're trying to get him to do some, there we go, some down just to get him into obedience. Nice stretch, fold down, good. Good boy. So the reason we're using a lick stick with him is he needs a little bit of prolonged reinforcement to keep his attention on us so he doesn't go right back to what he's doing. You see he still knows Angus is here, but he's able to be called back to Courtney. This is more difficult than doing it outside because there's not as much distance. The sound echoes in here, the smell's in here, so it's much harder for him. But you can see he settled pretty quickly. We tried a different dog first who was too excitable for this, so he had already had one large explosion before the one that you saw on here, and he's recovering nicely, which is what we want to see. That recovery is major progress for him. Good boy. So when he does that, we want to redirect his focus to us, get a sit if we can, and just keep calm. So if you get crazy and frustrated, then it's going to keep him at an elevated state. We want to make sure that we have a calm demeanor, we have a calm state, and that we're able to show him guidance and leadership in a calm way. What you can do if you're doing this out and about, practicing it out front of your house or on a quiet street or something like that, is you can bring like a towel or a blanket and use it as a place. The place just gives him a nice anchoring point where he knows that he can be calm and safe. Good boy. So Angus was making a little bit of noise. You saw that got his attention, but he was able to focus right back on Courtney. So our goal with this session is to get Lucky as close to taking a peek at Angus as possible. We're keeping Angus pretty calm and still. If he were running around being crazy, it would be much harder for Lucky, but he's getting there. No peanut butter on his foot. So he can hear Angus right now. Angus is chomping on something. And it's a clear noise. You could see his head whip and look. Good boy. He's doing really good, keeping his focus on Courtney. So when you're working on this kind of stuff at home, and I showed you the beginning reaction so that you could see how to work through that and get his attention on you. You may need to, like if this happens when you encounter a dog on a walk, you're probably going to need to try and get some distance, whether that means walking the opposite direction of the dog, going up like behind a tree or something, just to get their attention back on you. And then you can start moving forward again. But it's important to remember that when he's in that explosion, he can't hear anything that you're doing. And so we don't want to repeat ourselves over and over again in that time frame. We want to remain calm, collected, and in control of the situation so that he knows he can relax and let you take the lead. Good. Yeah, we want to see if, just stay there. See if he can just come take a peek and go back with you real quick. call. Good. Excellent. So what Courtney did there is he let him see Angus, and then we started walking backwards and calling him to us in an excited tone to bring his attention off of Angus as quickly as possible. So throughout his training for the next couple of days, what we're going to do is keep working this scenario and upping the amount of time that he can look at a dog without freaking out and still pay attention. So this is Lucky on day 3 of week 3, and he's making such great progress on this behavior. Good. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments or reach out to us, and we'll see you again tomorrow.